What is going on, YouTube? Tom here, and yes, once again I'm bringing you all some car news. Something I've been seeing kind of all over here on the internet in this last couple of days. Figured I might as well share it with you all. And that is, there's a proposed merger that's about to happen, allegedly. Now, apparently Renault and FCA or Fiat are actually in talks about a merger, because either one of them, they're not doing as well financially, and of course what do big companies do when they struggle financially? They merge. Now, this apparently brought on a good point to make, which is Ford and GM, neither of which have been doing as well for the last few years, so there's now allegedly the talks of a Ford-GM rumor. And of course, I wanted to talk about this because, of course, I own a Ford, and a lot of people I know own GM cars, and of course I've been talking about possibly my next car being a Corvette. So I kind of want to talk about this rumor and actually why I don't see it being a thing. Now, I'm no business expert, I'm no analyst, I'm a guy with an engineering degree who simply runs a YouTube channel, so believe me, I'm no business expert. And also just want to say this, nothing stated in this video is necessarily fact, and basically most of these articles are the same thing, they're opinion and rumor. So that being said, this alleged rumor would make, of course, possibly they set up to the world's third largest automaker, and then it would have a US market share of 30%. And right there alone, I don't think that's going to even get by regulators, because obviously when big companies merge for US regulation, they have to get approved. Well, I don't see the government approving a 30% share in the US auto market, just because that would mean effectively a monopoly, and that's not a good thing. So just for that reason alone, I don't see it happening. But also, there was talks about brands getting divested. So Ford only offers really two major brands anymore, and they really only offer a third one in Brazil, so realistically, there's not much for Ford to divest. There's Lincoln and there's Ford, that's it. But it never talks about GM having to divest, possibly Buick and GMC. Now, that being said, Buick is basically the largest automaker in China, which is pretty much the biggest, not quite the biggest market. I think US is still #1 market, but China is #2, and that's a big cash cow. Buick is selling strong there. I don't see that they would divest their big money maker. It may not sell as well here in the US, but over in China it sells well. Of course, the other one was they said possibly a divesting of GMC, which it would make sense if they are going to divest Buick, they divest GMC at the same time, simply because they're sold together at the same dealerships. You go into a Buick GMC dealership, you buy GMC trucks, and then you go into a Chevy dealership, you buy Chevy trucks. That's the way GM's market strategy has been for years now. But now apparently in Canada, they still sell more GMC trucks than they do Chevy trucks. So that being said, I just don't see it as profitable for GM if, again, you got their big markets. And then on top of that, you got a lot of model overlap. I mean, what would they do? Obviously, you'd be selling the Mustang and the Camaro alongside each other. Those two cars have been fighting for sales now since 1967 when the Camaro came out. So obviously, how are you going to have these two cars fighting for each other? But obviously, this wouldn't be the first time two large rivals have ever merged. It happens a lot in business. So, and of course, the American cars, we know it, I think, is dying, because Ford is no longer making a car other than the Mustang, and then Chevy, they're killing off a bunch of their cars as well, and a lot of American production is dying. So it's safe to say, I think the American car as we know it is probably going to be dead in the next couple decades, maybe, just because no one's buying American cars anymore. But let me know what you all think about that in the comment section below. What do you think about this possible Ford-GM merger? Do you think it's going to happen, or do you think all these analysts are just simply talking right now based on incomplete facts? And anyway, let me know in the comment section below what you think about all that. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. If you are stopping in for the first time, go ahead and subscribe, because more content coming as always. Always want to bring you all the news like this and just try to have my reaction on it and what do I think is going to happen. But anyway, take care, have a good day.